It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television. You are watching First Warning Live, our 98th episode of, is it possible? Could this be 98? I believe it is. And of course, Monday, 99. So Tuesday's 100. I don't feel that old, but we'll be up to 100. And it's sponsored by Marco's Pizza, who generously is giving away 22 free pizzas with one topping each in this live stream. 12 will go to one individual for pizza for a year, and then we'll get 12, or actually 10 individual pizzas out at the top of the hour. So we'll do all that, but first I got to talk about what we're focused on. It's the countdown to the 39th annual Grand Illumination Parade. I hope I spelled that right. But it is grand, and even though I've not been to it, I've seen enough file video from last year and the years before. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. So if you want to get into the holiday spirit, and if the pre-dawn snow that we got on Veterans Day didn't do it for you, didn't really get you into the holiday spirit, maybe this will. This is 7 o'clock. This is a 7 o'clock start. So let's go ahead. Let's not delay any further. Let's get right to the nuts and bolts. The parade is at 7. I know. I have a 30% chance of rain at 5. So while you're setting up, sidewalks are wet, it's damp, it's kind of cool. I mean, 55 with a north wind 10 to 15. It's probably going to feel like the upper 40s with the wind chill, if you want to call wind chill a chill. But then 10% on 7 o'clock, 53. So it's not completely out of the picture, but it's pretty much winding down. I would use the word improving. So by the time the parade starts, it's improving. The wet streets, you can't get around. And the rain that's actually falling will be slowing down, if not stopping, because by 9 o'clock, it's 0. I think the chance of rain at this juncture, because it is Thursday after all, we're talking about something that's going to happen just 2 days away. We're less than 48 hours? Less than 48 hours from the start of this parade. And the wind's about 5 to 15, then 5 to 10. So they slow down, but it's going to be mostly cloudy through the rest of the parade activities. So that's where we'll be. Now, as far as the rest of the weekend, Saturday, yeah, I got 40% during the day. 67 would be the high, but that might come midday. Then we get cooler. Then it's really cool by 11 degrees cooler on Sunday as you make your plans 56. If you're on the call, this would be a great time to say hello. I do have a note here from last night, and I believe it was Kim Thompson-Jones, who's probably seen virtually every one of these live streams. That may be an exaggeration, but if not, she says, wow, 100 already. I know, it's where did the time go? It's amazing how fast time flies. But see, Taj wasn't here last night, but I think he put maybe something out later. I was out getting new phone friends. Maybe he was on the phone with some family or friends. That's cool too. I'm really glad that you're here. If you are here, let's keep moving, because I'm going to present the pizza at precisely 8 o'clock Eastern time. So I don't know how, we've had some people watching from Oklahoma City on time. So anyway, at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is really 18 minutes from now, I'm going to give away that free pizza on behalf of our friends at Marco's. Now, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Is this going to update? I don't know if it will. I don't know if my map will update. It looks like there's nothing going on, but actually this map should have something on it. I don't know what's happened to this map, but somehow or another, it got by me and some of the data is just not trickling in. But I can tell you this with just the telestrator alone, because I can improvise. I can improvise and change this to blue. I think there's going to be some snow up here, and there'll be some snow off the Great Lakes. And let's change this to green. See how I can improvise with a live stream? I can't do that easily on TV. But there'll be some rain in here. So if you're traveling on Wednesday, call it Travel Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, there will be showers in the southeast, and there will be some snow across maybe even parts, we'll call it parts of the Dakotas. We'll call it North Dakota. A little bit of snow up here and some downwind of the Great Lakes. Outside of that, you should be fine if you're headed to Texas or California. I don't know why my map didn't upload, but hey, that's the way it goes. I can tell you that we're 1 week away from Thanksgiving. Who's excited? I think there's a show of hands. By a show of comments, if you're excited about Thanksgiving. Because you know what? This is what one day of the entire year that we devote as a country to be thankful. I mean, every day is a gift, right? If that's true, what's the alternative? Well, I guess I'm 6 feet under. That's not fun. So let's just focus on the positive. And if you're eating turkey, great. And if you're sparing one, that's fine too. Maybe you're going to be not eating turkey, maybe ham or something else. But it's an opportunity. That's what it is. opportunity to be thankful. Hey, if you're on the call, would love to say hi to you. I'm looking at this new messages that might be coming in. If we have any new messages, hopefully they'll populate here on my computer. That last graph didn't really do much there for sure, but I can check out, see if there's somebody watching here. Yeah, I got some comments. Hopefully this will reload or refresh. There it is. Oh, Lynn Old is back. I love seeing new faces, similar faces. This is Lynn Old is new. I mean, somewhat, maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe you've left some comments, but I'm really glad that you're here, Lynn. Glad to see you. Kim Thompson is excited the fact that we're getting close to 100. And this is a new comment from today's stream, so glad to see you. Taj Brown understands it's pizza night. I keep waiting for his name to show up on my computer. It could. I have the names now in the computer, but I'll reveal that in precisely 15 minutes from now. But let's get to the nuts and bolts. And before I forget, if you don't win tonight, you've already got half off your pizza. Just from watching this show, yeah, it was amazing. How many shows can you watch on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else? Where else can you watch a show and just from watching it, they're going to give you a promo code for half off. You don't have to clip a coupon. You don't have to clip a coupon, but you do need the promo code WTKR50. Our friends at Marcos do encourage you to screenshot this, to save it, share it. But what we're going to do at the top of the hour is give away a pizza for a year certificate, and that one large, one topping pizza will be administered at your choosing, one per month for 12 months. So even though it's November, you'll get one this month, you'll get one December, and right through October of 2026. And the 6 locations, I had to catch myself, used to be 5, 6 locations that are participating in this 50% off pizza and free pizza are on your screen now. It's 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk. And if you go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos, you can enter to win because we'll give away more next week. Ooh, next week, you may get tired. You might get tired of turkey. You might be tired of turkey next week, and suddenly if you win pizza, people eat pizza the day before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. Well, maybe that's leftovers, but maybe by the Saturday after Thanksgiving or Friday, whatever, then you're ready for pizza. Who knows? But whatever you're in the mood for, I'm here to help you get some free pie. Okay, lows today, right on the screen, 47. When did we do that? We had that at 1:49 in the morning. Now let's be clear and deliberate with our numbers here. 1:49 in the morning. What were you doing at 1:49? I was asleep. I don't know about you. I was fast asleep. I was in REM. I was in rapid eye movement sleep. But according to the airport records, that's when 47 occurred. Now, did we get very warm today? You said we get to 57. I know, but Chesapeake was 57. Well, that doesn't count. If you're forecasting for Norfolk, you were off 4 degrees. Yes, I was. Now you realize how difficult it is to do this job. It's not easy, right? Because you're going to have some influences. Wind direct. We had cloud cover today, but I was expecting 57. And Chesapeake hit 57. We were 53, 55 Virginia Beach, and it was 59 to be fair. Elizabeth City, and had 52 in a Husky. So there's some variability, but it was cooler than average. Yesterday, we were 61. So we were 8 degrees cooler than yesterday. We were 8 degrees below normal compared to, well, normal this time of year. And the fact that this was the coolest day really in 9 days, you got to go back to Veterans Day when we had that little snow episode in the pre-dawn hours. So it's been one of the cooler days we've seen over the last 9 days. Now, let's get to the headlines. If you're just joining us and you're wanting the nuts and bolts, I'm trying to do my best to cover as much ground before 8 o'clock before we give away some free pizza. Marcos Pizza, of course. Mostly cloudy tonight, lows in the 40s. Few showers on Friday, 30% chance, but highs in the 50s, struggling to reach the low 60s. So that's a big key. Struggling to reach the low 60s tomorrow. And then the weekend outlook, we have scattered showers on Saturday, but sunny on Sunday. And it will be significantly cooler, as we talked about around 56 on Sunday afternoon. Now, if you look at the satellite radar here, we do have an abundance of clouds. You might say it's gloomy. So you might say, welcome to Gloomville. It was very cloudy today, kind of dreary too. But we didn't have rain. You'll notice you get all these clouds. You're like, well, it must be raining somewhere in our viewing area. No, not today. Not so much. I mean, had there been a drop of rain, maybe some drizzle, didn't see much of it here. But if we expand the view just a little bit more, now you start to see some showers trying to form south of Roanoke. And if we expand even further, it's raining in Knoxville. There's probably a handful of people right now watching from East Tennessee because I'd been there 15 years. So when I came here, they're like, can we still watch you? And so that's how that goes. But I can tell you that the rain that they're getting in Knoxville is headed here in scattered form tomorrow and Saturday. And the rain that we've been seeing in Kentucky, I did work in Lexington, Kentucky for a couple of weekends, more than about a year or so, but I do know that their rain also is headed in this direction. So you've got some opportunities to get some rain, and the center of this low is not even on the map. It's in North Texas. It's in the Panhandle. The northern Panhandle of Texas is where that low extends back to the west. Now, if you look at our current conditions, clouds are abundant. Clearly, from the METARs, the airport codes, we got a lot of clouds in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Wallops. We got cloudy skies in Manio and Kitty Hawk, and maybe some breaks in Ahoskie, Franklin, and Emporia. So we're expecting a mostly cloudy sky tonight. But as you make your plans tomorrow, here's what I expect to find. As we now are about 10 minutes from pizza. 50, 57, 61. I said we'll struggle to get to 61. It's going to be tough. I mean, given the fact that winds, even though the winds are out of the south, 5 to 10, if we have enough cloud cover, we're not going to get there. But the showers may very well be confined to late morning, midday, and then kind of trickle off into the afternoon with mostly cloudy skies tomorrow at 7 at 56 degrees. So that's where things are headed, I think, on Friday. If you're on the call, I got Taj. Taj has a conversation. He says, nothing, let me take my telestrator. He says, nothing like a pizza lover for us. See, I love pizza. Just inherently, I mean, long before I met Marco's. But then when I tried Marco's, I was like, man, I like this, and I really love the Pozzoli. That's what got me hooked, was the Pozzoli. If you haven't tried those Pozzolis, it's like a stromboli. Not every pizza place has one of those, so give it a try if you haven't, but you can get 50% off that too, whatever you choose to, if you so desire. But I got to keep moving because my time is of the essence. Now, we were talking about this front. As it moves in like an up and down yo-yo, sometimes like a snake. It goes to the warm front, harder to track, cold front comes in. By 7 a.m. Saturday, we see another round of showers beginning to develop. So you can see the scattered nature and the intensity, several shades of green on the screen, at midday on Saturday. Now the parade is at 7. Now this shows, again, most of the rain by 5 looks darker green where? North Carolina. Maybe in Norfolk, still lingering, right? But I think by 7, most of this, we'll look at a closer look up with the graph model on the Futurecast. It looks like it's trying to get out of here in time for the parade. I still think that that's the best way to frame it. It's improving conditions if you're out there at this parade. Rainfall potential next 2 days, still around a third. That hasn't changed in the data since yesterday. About 1/10 in Emporia, about 2/10 in Nags Head and the Outer Banks, 3/10 there, about a third for Cape Charles and the Eastern Shore. Rain chances 30 to 40% next 2 days. It goes to 0 on Sunday and Monday. What happens Sunday and Monday? Well, we get large-scale sinking or subsidence, so we're getting a mostly sunny day. These will be great travel days. Hint, hint, if you have to get off of work or school, I assume school, maybe work. If you get out of work or your commitments, you can get on the road Sunday and Monday, you'll be better off. One, because maybe there's less traffic. We can hope, right? And by Tuesday, Wednesday, there's some showers. I do see some rain coming in, but then it's dry again on Thanksgiving, but I'm giving it all away. That'll be revealed in the 7-day at the end of the live stream. Right now it's 7:52. Any questions, let me know. Now this is going to be fun. How many of you like winter? Let me get a show of hands. If you like winter, you're going to love this. We're going to do, instead of trivia tonight, we're going to do like an optometrist exam. Do you ever take one of where they put the big E and you're like, well, that's the only line I can read. No, read to us the lowest line that you can see in focus. I can only see the E if I'm not wearing contact lenses. Okay, so this is that type of exam. We're going to show you some colors, and if you're color challenged, some of us are, you'll have to take my word for it. But it does show signs of getting bitter, fiercely cold by the time we get to Christmas. Let me say that again. I said that in the last 2 live streams, but I'm going to double down, and you'll see why. Let me show you what it looks like on our way to Thanksgiving. Yes, we'll see some cold air, eventually returning in time for Thanksgiving in the Great Lakes. Looks like in Rochester, New York, it'll be cold in time for 5 o'clock Thursday, Thanksgiving, but still pretty mild here. We'll have a nice southwest wind. We'll get back in the 60s. But after Thanksgiving, by the time many of you are shopping on that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I can't keep track of it all. It's Saturday, like local shops, Cyber Monday, all those things I get confused, all these holidays or would-be holidays, but whatever it is. If you're shopping, I think you're going to probably hope that you have some earmuffs and maybe some mittens Mittens I could do with gloves. Gloves, whatever. Kids like the mittens. But anyway, cold air. Now, if you need some more evidence, let me show you what it looks like, what's happening as we head toward and beyond. I love this. This is just amazing. I mean, what you're looking at is an incredibly intense, this is the dead of winter, right? And there will be more reinforcements coming over top of it. So this is, my friend, taking us through the 30th of November. That's Sunday. Now, granted, it's till 2 a.m. It barely starts the 30th of November. But when this type of cold air is growing, there's got to be a reason. Why is this suddenly getting super cold over Canada? And believe me, I think this is child's play to what's going to come. Because what I want to show you is when I started my live stream this week on Tuesday, and I'll wrap up with this and then we'll get to pizza, I showed you the stratospheric warming. And we talked about what is the polar vortex, right? The Arctic air that we just featured rotates counterclockwise, but at some point there can be a displacement. I called it a reversal, a cha-cha now y'all, in reverse, cha-cha y'all. And so what happens is you get this surge of Arctic air, but the fact that this is happening in November usually means there's a 30-day delay, 30 to 45 days max. But I would say by the time we get to Christmas, I mean, it's going to be so intensely cold in the Great Lakes. Some of that, modified as it may be, will be headed here. I think, well, I don't expect to be zero here. Certainly zero's on the table for areas around the Great Lakes, like maybe in Minnesota and parts of Wisconsin. They're going to feel the brunt of this cold air. So let me show you what I showed you on, well, I showed this to you on Tuesday. Ready for this? This is the stratosphere. When there's intense warming, it's very important to remember what we all learned from middle school science class. Warm air rises, that means cold air sinks, right? So what we're seeing in this image here from last Tuesday, because the date here is the 19th, hard to see if you're just watching us for the first time, but over down here, I'll circle it, says the 18th. So you have these multiple shades of orange, so it's intensely warmer now, as of Tuesday, in the stratosphere. So warm air rises, cold air sinks, and it's going to sink hard. All right, so that was Tuesday. Let me show you yesterday. Better or worse? I suddenly see a little red spot. There's a little bit of red spot in here. It means it's actually getting warmer in the stratosphere. Today, it's off the chain. This is today. Oh my goodness, there's a big red spot. Ooh, it must be really getting hot in the stratosphere. And when I'm talking stratosphere, I'm talking about 6 to 31 miles in the sky. The map that I've been showing you represents about 58,000 feet, about 11 miles up. But at 70 millibars, this is intense. And this is today's date. I can circle that very clearly. What does this mean? Like a time-release vitamin C, or like the paddleboard, a stand-up paddleboard. I showed that example. That if you're on a paddleboard and a speedboat goes, you might take 30 seconds. 30 is the magic. Maybe it takes 30 seconds before your paddleboard gets a little wobbly, right? For us, when I see something like this, it's going to be about 30 days. 30 days before we feel this, and it's going to be brutal. And that's going to happen between the 20th and probably Christmas. It's going to be around Christmas time. So I can't get into the holiday spirit unless it's cold. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. I've seen now 3 days of this getting what was Tuesday to yesterday to today. I mean, this thing's winding up. And I think even though what I showed you a moment ago takes you through the 30th of November, this is the canary in the coal mine for a brutally cold start to the Christmas season. Around the 20th to 25th. It's going to potentially be very, very cold across much of the country. If you've got a comment, you got a question, it's time for pizza. I believe it is just about time for pizza. I got some notes here. Kim says she's ready for snow, Team Snow. Some of you really liked the pre-dawn snow of Veterans Day because it was nice and tidy. It fell while many, not all, while many were asleep, and then it was over. And there's, hey, it snowed, and only those who wanted to stay up could see it. I mean, some people say that's perfect. But if we could maybe get this cold air in here and get a storm system to come in and fuse or phase together, it'd be great. I think some of us who are on Team Snow would be saying yes, while others I respect and understand would say no, thank you. Okay, it is now 7:59, just about 8 o'clock. It's time for some pizza, so let's get to that. Let me just first announce that we have, I believe, we're giving away 10 individual pizzas. So what I like to do, as I come back on camera, I like to give away, on behalf of Marco's, 10 individual pizzas. And then when we're done that, then we'll give the grand prize winner who's getting the pizza for a year. And that would look like this. So they'll be getting this certificate in the mail, and their name will be put strategically at the upper left, awarded to. He'll have the date expired, but once you get your pizza in November, that's one topping, one large one-topping pizza for free. You'll be able to check box it like a punch card, and then use December, and that'll take you right through the 26th of October, 2026 of October. So you get 12 pizzas if your name is selected. But we want to give away the individual pizzas now. Number one, and again, remember the 5 locations, now 6, that you could participate and get this pizza are on your screen. But that should be explanatory when you get this in the mail. Number one, drum roll please, is and would be Angelica Blackshear of Yorktown. Congratulations, Angela. And in no particular order, Carol Zook has just won a free one-topping pizza from Marco's, and she's in Virginia Beach. So congratulations, Carol. Congratulations, Angelica. It's great to have you as a winner. Now, number 2 and number 3, well, 3 and 4, is Cheryl Wilson of Chesapeake and Jeff Denbo of Virginia Beach. You've just won a free Marco's pizza. Now, I always tell people that when you get this in the mail, because it clearly says certificates will be mailed, don't throw it away. He's like, oh, it's trying to sell me something. No, we're trying to give you away some free food. Trying to give away some free food, and nobody wants to throw away food in this economy. So make sure you get the certificate and redeem it when you can. So that's what we have at number 3 and 4. Cheryl Wilson, Jeff Denbo, congratulations to you. Number 5 and 6. Now on the screen, it's Marlene Boyd. And from Virginia Beach. Do you know Marlene? Could you please let Marlene know if she's not watching, she's missing out. But even if she's not watching, she'll still get it in the mailbox. Martina Johnson of Suffolk. Congratulations to you, Martina. I'm so glad that you won. Might be a little bit of a drive for you and Angelica. She's coming down from Yorktown. You're coming in from Suffolk. But the pizza will be hot and ready when you are in town. Martina Johnson, thank you so much for participating. Number 7. Do we have number 7? I believe we have number 7 and 8 on the screen. Mary Blair from Virginia Beach. Congratulations to you. You just won a free large one-topping Marco's pizza. And Patrice Beal of Portsmouth. So we got Mary Blair and Patrice Beal. Congratulations to you. And finally, of the single pies, individual pizzas, we're going out to Tara Davis of the family-friendly neighborhood, the neighborhood there in York County, Grafton. Tara Davis, you might have a little bit of a drive too, but I'm happy to announce that you just won one free pizza, one topping from Marco's. And lastly, William Johnson of Chesapeake, you just won a large pizza from Marco's as well. So congratulations to Angelica, Carol, Cheryl, Jeff, Marlene, Martina, Mary, Patrice, Tara, and William. Thank you so much for participating. So glad that you get some free pizza. Now, come back on camera real quick. Just want to remind you that the number 1 grand prize winner for the week, we had a short week because I wasn't here Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, today's Thursday, we want to give away the big pizza winner. This is pizza for a year. That's a big deal because you're getting 12 individual pieces. We've already given away 10, so 12 more would be 22. And of course, it wouldn't be the same if I didn't have some confetti. Let's do some confetti. All right, the winner of this week is from Portsmouth. Is it Mary? It is Mary. Mary Stuck. Mary Stuck from Portsmouth. Congratulations to you. You just won free pizza for a full year. And in this economy, that's got to help at least relieve some of the pizza budget. So if you eat pizza once a week, every other week, at least you get one large pizza, one topping every month for the next 12. So very happy for you, Mary Stuck of Portsmouth. You are now going to be receiving in the mail a certificate. So congratulations to you. And as I check the comments that might be coming in, I got Taj. He is saying congratulations to you. Isn't that awesome? And Kim Thompson-Jones also excited about the winners. Congratulations to you all. And I appreciate you all wishing them the best, because some of them might not be watching this live stream at the moment, but maybe somebody can notify them either by word of mouth or when they eventually open their mailbox. But we got to get back to the weather. We were talking about the polar vortex, talking about cold air. It really looks cold for December, folks. I know you're going to say, well, this is really going to be bad. I still think the November when we had something Veterans Day. That checks that box. November, December, and the first 2 weeks of January would be front-end loaded. This is the type of winter that I see. It doesn't mean that winter ends entirely by Dr. Martin Luther King Day, but it certainly has the potential to relax a bit. So I think we will see the worst, quote unquote, that's all relative. If you like snow, it's the best, but the worst of the winter and the chill may be on the front end of winter. Hope that helps. I know we had one on February 19th this year here, 2 days before I got here. Doesn't necessarily mean this February will be like that, maybe front end loaded. Now 53, as I mentioned, was today's high. That is the warmest day since, or I should say the coolest, let's reverse that. The coolest day since Veterans Day, which was 9 days ago. That was 45. But I did not color yesterday's number simply because that was a normal day. The normal high, 61, we hit 61. So it's pretty unusual to be normal, so why be normal? Well, this month we've had 6 above and 13 below. And I suspect we're going to find a lot of blue squares as we head into the month of December. I think we've covered that. 24-hour temperature change. It's up and down. It's topsy-turvy, summer plus, summer minus. When you compare apples to apples, yesterday to today at this same time. Current temperature as of 8:05 is 52 in Currituck, Manio 53, Edenton 51 degrees, while it's 47 in Melfa, 51 in Cape Charles. Overnight lows tonight, mid to upper 40s, about 44 for Franklin, 46 for Elizabeth City, and about 47 for Norfolk and Smithfield. Smithfield has a mistletoe event going on this Saturday, so there'll be some great vendors. I think like 70 vendors, I was being told. Oops, didn't mean to do that. 70 vendors, I'm told, from Kurt Williams, that this is a big event in Smithfield. In addition to the parade that we also have the Botanical Gardens. We have the Battleship Wisconsin with the Nauticus. You have the colors and beautiful Christmas lights, holiday lights all over this city and beyond. It really is up to you to participate in it. And maybe you're putting up your tree this weekend. Who knows? Or next weekend, you have opportunities, hopefully, to do it with some dry weather coming in Sunday and Monday. By the way, the temperature forecast. This is why I said I think we're going to struggle. I think we're going to struggle. This is representative 7 a.m. We're pretty close to 50, mostly cloudy. But once we head toward the afternoon, I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic that we could get to 61 Southside. It suggests 61 Peninsula, 62 or 63. There's 63 for Eastern Shore. Might be hard to get to 61 in Southside, but I'm hopeful we will. But like I said, it's going to be about a 30% chance of showers, and we're going to highlight that in terms of the Futurecast closer view here toward the end. But I want to get back to this map. This is for those of you that might be traveling. We have a lot, obviously, in the military here, so you might have family near and far. But I'm looking at the national scene. I see some rain coming into Southern California. From LA all the way back toward and around the Fresno area. Some showers, even some snow showers falling in some of the higher terrain there. A couple of sprinkles in Arizona, a couple of showers in New Mexico. Very active weather moving through Dallas in the last hour. Some of those storms. I don't see severity. I don't see any polygons that would suggest severe weather, but it's been raining hard, no doubt, in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. And if you go back to Oklahoma and into Farragut, oh yes, Farragut, Knoxville, we've been seeing some rain in Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Caryville, Morristown, Harriman, all getting some showers at this moment, and into Townsend and up toward Kyles Ford and Sneedville. Don't want to leave out Cookeville or Bristol, those, and Middlesboro, Kentucky, getting some wet weather now as well. But really, it's tonight. I think we're just going to cloud up. Some of that light green here doesn't even look like it's reaching the ground. Some of this looks like it's Virga. But even still, I think we're going to find some opportunities for rain, especially tomorrow and Saturday. Now, the drought monitor came out today. This may not be of big of an interest to you, but I can tell you there's been some improvement. Because last week, within the drought monitor, had this area under the moderate, which would be Chowan County, Perquimans County, and maybe parts of even Pasquotank had potentially some moderate, which is again the brown drought as far as the level 2. Now it's gone to level 1, so maybe a little bit of improvement. Bertie County is still for the most part under level 2, which is the moderate drought. You see there are 5 levels here: severe, extreme, and exceptional would be kind of a burgundy color. But there has been some improvement. We really haven't had that issue for several weeks now in Norfolk or Oceans Lakes there, or maybe even Cape Charles have been pretty good. Gloucester, Matthews County, some of your areas are still yellow, so they could use some rain. And it's a level 1 for Dare County, all the way down to Hatteras. Duck could use a little bit of rain. But as far as the bigger picture, probably some of the driest parts of the state, at least the Commonwealth of Virginia, would be back toward maybe the Blue Ridge Mountains, Alleghenies, and maybe Shenandoah Valley might still have some severe drought going on. We did pick up 3/100 of an inch of rain yesterday morning, nothing today, but that should change tomorrow and on Saturday. Now, current temperatures, 809. We have 45 right now in Suffolk, 51 in Norfolk, and 52 in Yorktown. Good time for me to pause to see if anybody's got some other comments. Let's see here. Taj has a question, maybe a comment. I'll see if I can do my best to fly in here and circle or underline what he is saying. He says, those clouds and the sky last night was looking like a possible snow. Yeah, they tend to do that, especially when it almost looks like when they're really low clouds, but you're waiting for maybe a shoe to drop. We just didn't have that. If we get a dropping shoe, it'll come tomorrow with some scattered showers and not too bad of a situation there. But as far as our temperatures, you can see we're at 46 Franklin, 52 in Elizabeth City, the harbor of hospitality, Windsor 48, and Kiptopee currently at 52 degrees. Now, temperatures currently in Knoxville, where it's been raining, they're in the 60s. So is it possible that we could get to 61 tomorrow? It's on the table. But it's 50 in Richmond and 55 currently in Raleigh. You look at the big picture around the country, as I showed you before, it doesn't. It's not going to necessarily show up on all the modeling, but this is actually a current temperature. Really starting to see some purple up here. This is only going to grow. This will grow intensely over the next 3 to 4 weeks. I think in 30 days from now, some of that intense cold, and we can check it because I'll probably be on. I don't know what. I haven't checked the calendar, but what is the 20th of December? Is that a weekday? It's a Saturday. So let's just say by the 22nd, when I'm live streaming a few days before Christmas, we can always say, "Oh, that was spot on," or "That surprises me." See, I'm here to tell you, I don't want weather to surprise you. It can annoy you, like, hey, it's raining the hours before the parade, but I don't want it to surprise you. So I'm doing my best to be the messenger. We can always, what happens to the messenger, don't like what the messenger has to say, I understand. But I'm just putting it out there so that you can work with the intel and work with that moving forward. Now, the cold air here, another look at this, is at 5,000 feet. This will take us through Thanksgiving Day itself, which of course is the 27th, but you can see that cold pool of air dipping all the way down to Missouri and Illinois, and eventually it's going to come down here. So it's just a matter of time, and I would suspect we're going to get reinforcements with this sudden stratospheric warming event, and it will be one for many to say, oh, it's my heating bills, they've gone way up. It's going to be hard to stay warm. Now, this is the latest update from the Climate Prediction Center. I mentioned to you yesterday, they didn't have this. They had it yesterday, but the day before Tuesday, they didn't have this as blue. Now they do. So it's like either they're listening to me and going, hey, let's make some modifications, or more likely, they're taking the data from the supercomputers and they're putting in where they think it could be. But I can assure you that Storm Prediction Center, or not, Climate Prediction Center, does put a big emphasis on the cold up in the upper plain states, and maybe to a lesser degree for us, but everything's going to be modified, right? When it's cold in the 20s, that's cold. But if it's near zero, especially in parts of the Great Lakes, that's going to be a big story too. That takes you through December 4th. Now, the temperature trend, I'm going to wrap things up here in a few moments. 61 Friday, 67 Saturday. So you have some warmer days in quotation marks, especially now. Starting tomorrow, the normal high is 60. Tomorrow's high, starting tomorrow, is 60. So we'll see how that plays out. But that's your coolest day is Sunday. And the sun is shining brightly on the cooler days. That's just the trade-off. You get warmer days when it's maybe raining, but you're going to get cooler days apparently in the next 5 when it's sunny. Eastern Shore forecast, 58, Bloxham, Onancock, and Exmoor, 58. 57 for our friends in Cape Charles on Friday. 61, Kill Devil Hills. The weekend's almost here in Manio, 61. Nags Head, 61 degrees. And we're expecting scattered showers in Rodanthe, Ocracoke, and Hatteras. Highs there in the lower to mid 60s. Real briefly, we'll focus on the Climate or Storm Prediction Center. There it is. Storm Prediction Center for isolated to severe. We got some issues around the Dallas area, even though we didn't see anything active when we were looking at the map a moment ago, but there are some areas in Texas and into Arkansas that might have some isolated severe storms between now and sunrise tomorrow at 7 a.m. Now, Friday looks pretty quiet. Even though we have some rain, there are no expectations for severe weather in the lower 48. That's a good thing to check, especially if you're traveling tomorrow someplace or maybe you have family coming in here. And then severe threat Saturday, also void of any precipitation that would reach severe limits. Any storms, rather, looks pretty quiet, and we'll continue on that theme through Saturday. But as far as the modeling tonight, it's pretty easy to see that the clouds are going to stick around. I'll call it mostly cloudy. There might be some thin spots from here to here, but the wind's not a problem right through 11 o'clock tonight. Pretty good. But once we move into 7 a.m., that might be when you're out the door, right? If you're out the door at 7 or 8 in the morning, it's not raining yet. Might be out here, might be down here, maybe southern Bertie County. But give it a few hours. By 9 o'clock, it may have already rained in Edenton. It may have already rained in parts of Pasquotank or Women's County. And then Franklin by 10, Ahoskie, Elizabeth City, Duck by 10 a.m. And then watch Norfolk. Oh, we're getting one near Norfolk, 11 a.m. Oh, by noon, it looks pretty. See what I'm saying? These are scattered showers. And once this impulse passes by, there'll be another one. Is it heavy rain? Maybe in yellow. Maybe over toward Edenton it could be at 12 noon. And notice the winds. They're still pretty paltry, right? This is just 5 out of the south. I have it at 5 to 10, and that's generous. So Ahoskie, Edenton, and maybe areas down toward Elizabeth City could get a downpour, but by 4 o'clock it's all gone. But give it more time. Friday night we get another impulse. Friday night it's now moving back into Newport News. It's now moving into places like Norfolk, Eastern Shore, but that's 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And then 10. Oh, and there's 11. So now Williamsburg, parts of maybe Smithfield, maybe areas from Surrey and Sussex, and maybe even in parts of Suffolk County may have, at least northern parts, might get a shower tomorrow night. And the winds are only 6 miles an hour. Now we move into Saturday. The heaviest is in the morning. How do you know that? Well, look at the coverage, right? I mean, most of this area up here, it's raining, and that's 7 a.m. We're more concerned about what's happening at 7 p.m., because that's the start of the big parade. 70,000, I've heard estimates of 95,000 people may very well be watching this parade that goes on Saturday. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And it being the 39th annual, there's a great interest anytime that parade is taking place. But you can see at 7 a.m. Saturday, I have a 30% chance of rain Friday, 40% chance on Saturday, and you can see just from the coverage here that it's covering a good part of the Eastern Shore and up from I-64 all the way up toward Richmond. Now, by 11 a.m. Saturday, it may look like this, right? Streets are wet. There's no getting around it. Streets are wet. And if you're sitting on the sidewalk getting a good seat for the parade that's going to start in roughly 8 hours from here, 11 a.m., it's still raining. But give it more time. There's 4. 5. I see rain come. 6. You said 10% chance at 7. Yeah, there's my 10%. There's my 10%, right? It's a north wind. It's about 8 miles an hour, might be higher. But the chance of rain in Norfolk is not 0. It's about a 10% chance at 7 because at 8 o'clock it's gone. At 8 o'clock it's gone, poof, and there's no more. So that's why I say the timing is going to be close. So the key word is improving. It's going to be improving. 8 o'clock, let's take you to 9, 10, maybe a sprinkle down here. But I just think it's not a factor because it's a point forecast, right? I'm only the forecast where the parade is. And not so much worried about 10 miles outside of the parade, what's happening at the parade. I get that question a lot. I used to do for 9 years the Jumbotron at Neyland Stadium in Tennessee, in Knoxville. They were only interested in the game. I don't care if it's a thunderstorm 5 miles from the stadium. We just want to know what's happening at the stadium. That type of thing. So it's a point forecast. That's really what it is, and I think that we'll see some improving conditions. As again, we showed the showers this weekend. Front comes through, it pulls out. It's all predicated on its speed, and I think it's going to be a little quicker getting out of here like the one we just showed you. So we'll be more hopeful for a sunny solution on Sunday. Friday morning, we're in the 40s, 47, 47, 48. That may be the early start to near 50. 49 for Hampton, 49 for Virginia Beach, about 53 for Duck. And it's now about 8:18. Lows about 46 in Chesapeake and Moyock. Our friends in Gatesville and in Murfreesboro in the mid-40s. Now the afternoon, if we're lucky, we'll make it to 61 if we get a little bit of that blue sky as pictured here. But I do think we're looking at highs in the mid-60s, generally in parts of North Carolina. 60 for Portsmouth, 60 for Virginia Beach, 61 Hampton and Norfolk, about 61 for Moyock, and 60 for Corolla tomorrow afternoon. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 67 on Saturday, another 67 on Tuesday. But you'll notice if we were to group these 2 days together, and I don't know when you are traveling or have family traveling into town, Tuesday, Wednesday's got some showers. We've got Friday and Saturday for showers. So I'm just trying to highlight with your eyeballs the best looking days are Sunday, Monday, Turkey Day. Sunday, Monday, and Thanksgiving. So Sunday, Monday, and Thanksgiving, best looking days in terms of the sky condition. Because we will have more showers Tuesday, Wednesday, but I think there'll be enough dry air on Thursday that everyone's going to be focused on either the meal or maybe that reflective time where you get a chance, I get a chance, you get a chance to figure out what we're thankful for, right? Because every day is a gift. And if it's your family you're thankful for, then that's a real good time to spend it. And that's no matter what you're eating or consuming, but I think it's a great opportunity. And this will be a good day for everybody here, at least locally, to have some good weather. So let me finish up with some happy shots. I mean, this place is beautiful. Virginia Beach sunset. These are pictures, I believe, that were taken in the last 36 to 48 hours, about 36 hours. Sunset Lori, look at this. It looks better full screen than looking at me. Let me get back. Isn't that beautiful? Breathtaking. Where did this picture come from? It came from our WTKR photographers Facebook group. We have a group, and our members like to take pictures. They're very crafty with their cameras, Nikon camera, everything, iPhones, you name it. That's from Lori. This is from Michael. Virginia Beach sunset with some fall color. Love the composition of it. I mean, these are like breathtaking. And if you need one more, we got a Newport News sunset at the Huntington Park Beach. Love it. Bradley Fullwood, thank you for sharing that with us. Beautiful picture. Thank you, Bradley. So again, just to remind you, we're up to 61 if we're lucky tomorrow, 67 Saturday, back to the mid-50s on Sunday. If you've got some questions, some comments, I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. Let's see here. Kim wants to wish everybody have a great rest of the week, everyone. Thank you for participating in this live stream. If you are needing some food help, and I don't say that facetiously or jokingly, if you need some help with food, there is a great way that you can save 50% off your food. Doesn't matter what you order. You could order a pizza. Maybe you want a gluten-friendly crust. They use a cauliflower crust, but they do have some great food. They have pozzolis, and they have pizza bowls. That's without the bread. They have desserts. They have wings. They have salads. Anything that you could put in your cart, they will be kind enough to take 50% off at checkout. So you won't have to pay full price if you use the promo code WTKR50. So I want to say a special thanks to Marcos. Again, our grand prize winner this week is Mary Stuck from Portsmouth. Congratulations to Mary. If you see her walking in Portsmouth, say, hey, are you going to share? I hope you'll share. And then we got 10 other winners who got an individual pizza. Their certificates are also being mailed from today. So I want to thank you for your time there. Just a reminder, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious or seriously cold in December. Every day is a gift, so make the most of it in your neighborhood, and we'll see you here next week. Take care.